Are you still creating all of your docs in Google Drive, Word, or even text edit? Still managing your to-dos in a personal to-do app or even by paper? Whether you're managing documents for your entire company or just keeping track of personal tasks and information, there is a better way. And today, I'm going to show you the basics of Notion, one of the best apps for docs and notes available right now. Hey everyone, I'm Tom from xray.tech, the workflow company. At Xray, we use no-code tools like Notion, Airtable, and Zapier to help people save time and build more reliable workflows. In this video, I'm going to show you key features of Notion and walk you through creating pages, databases, and more so you can start building your own Notion docs. Let's get started. First, let's cover the basics. What is Notion? According to their own website, Notion is a tool that lets you put your wiki, docs, and projects together. In essence, Notion is a highly versatile platform that lets you create and customize nearly any type of document that you can think of. You can then share and edit all of those docs with your team, making it a great tool for collaboration. At its core, Notion is all about creating text documents and databases. But its greatest strength lies in its customization abilities. With Notion's wide array of content blocks and the ability to nest documents within other documents, you can create nearly any type of layout that you want for your workspace. You can nest databases inside of pages. You could nest pages inside of those databases, create multi-column layouts, hide and show information with drop-down toggles, filter and sort the data in your databases to create custom views, and a whole lot more. However you need to organize information, Notion can do it. It can handle project and task management, product documentation, content calendars, or even personal tasks like vacation planning or keeping a journal. To start building your own personalized workspace, all you need to learn is how to use content blocks. But first, of course, you need to sign up for Notion. The good news is most of Notion's core features are totally free for individual users. And if you have a .edu domain, you can qualify for a free pro account. If you want to use Notion to support your whole organization, team plans start at $8 per user per month. And there's even an AI plan for $10 per user per month. We'll get to that in another video. You can see more details on their pricing page, which you can find right along other key resources in the video description. But a free account is all you need to follow along for our tutorial for creating pages and databases. Just go to notion.so and make your account to get started. Once you've created an account and signed in, you'll see a simple interface. On the left, you'll see all of the pages you have access to. And if you've just created your account now, you'll see a set of example pages created by Notion. You'll also see your team spaces on top of this panel if you're part of a team plan. Everything in Notion is built around pages. Any data you want to create has to be stored within a page. So to start exploring Notion, just click on New Page to create a new page. Now you can type directly into the page to start creating your content. To bring up a menu where you can access different styles or special blocks, type /. Here you'll see a long list of text and block types. To quickly find what you're looking for, just enter a search term right after the /. We'll search for H1 to find a large heading we can use as a title for the page. After we've added our title, we'll hit enter to start a new block. By default, every new block will just be a plain paragraph. If you want to change the block type or style of any block, just hover over it and click on the dots to the left and select an option under Turn Into. There are a ton of options, so we won't cover them all right now, but there are a couple I want to highlight real quick. Bullets are convenient for jotting down some quick notes or making lists of instructions. Toggle dropdowns are a great way to hide or show lengthy lists with a single click. If you need to add an FAQ page to your workspace, toggle dropdowns are the best way to go. There are also a lot of markdown-based shortcuts that you can use to bypass the block menu entirely and instantly add the block you'd like with 1 or 2 extra keystrokes. For example, you can use an asterisk to start a bulleted list, or use the 2 brackets to start a to-do list with checkboxes. To quickly add a toggle, you can just use the greater than symbol. Be sure to check the link in the description for the full list of markdown shortcuts, along with other helpful resources that we've put together in a dedicated board for this video. Notion also makes it easy to create a multi-column layout. Just search for column to see your options. Notion will automatically divide the block into a few columns. Within each column, you still have access to all of Notion's other block types. You can create headings, bulleted lists, toggles, and more here. To resize them, just click and drag on the edge. Next, you can add images to your page to give it a little visual appeal. Just search for image and select the appropriate block. Then upload any image you'd like to use. You can even click and drag images and drop them directly on your page. Finally, I want to touch briefly on Notion AI. They've recently added an AI assistant which you can use to generate or edit text with simple prompts. Just type /AI to get started or hit spacebar. We've got a whole video dedicated to Notion AI which you can watch here if you'd like to learn more about what Notion AI can do for you. Again, there are many more options for blocks, but they can all be accessed the same way, so I'd encourage you to explore those for yourself. For now, let's take a look at nesting pages within pages. Let's make a page inside of this page. Just type /page to create a new page. This creates a page within our original page and opens it up so we can add content there. This subpage has all of the same features as our original page, so we can add any additional content blocks that we'd like right here. We'll also be sure to give it a title. Then, to get back to the parent page, we can just follow this breadcrumb menu in the top left. Now we can see the parent page includes a link to the subpage that we just created. Nested pages are a great way to organize your lengthy documents and company wikis. For instance, you might be creating an employee handbook or some technical product documentation. With nested pages, you can separate your content into pages for each employee role or pages for each use case for your app. This will make your documents much easier to navigate than a 50-page long Google Doc and much more contextually organized than a huge list of docs inside of a folder. If you need to find any of your pages, just hit Command-K on a Mac or Control-K on Windows to search through all of your pages, their titles, attributes, and their content blocks. Notion's not limited to only creating text docs. One especially useful block type is the database. You can create a database by typing /database, and this will add a fully functional database for storing and sorting data into your page. This is more than just a grid to arrange your text. Databases in Notion include several different field types, like date, single or multi-select, checkboxes, last edited by, formulas, and more. You can even use the relation field type to create links between two different databases. A relation associates a record in one database with a record in another database. For example, you might want to link each project manager in your team directory to the client in your clients database. Then you could also add a lookup field to display fields from the related record. For instance, in your team database, you can include a lookup field for the client's email address, which is a field originally in your client's database, now visible in your team directory. Whenever you update the data in the client's database, any linked records and their corresponding lookups will be updated automatically. With relations, you can display the same data in multiple spots without messy copying and pasting, manual work, or even an externally configured automation. Notion updates lookup fields and relational data by default. With filters, you can also display and hide data based on customized conditions. Then you can save that filter to a unique view, so you and your team can quickly access the same view, filters, and sorts. For instance, we'll add a filter to this database of tasks so that we only see tasks that aren't marked as complete or archived. This is key for making sure that everyone is looking at the right information. In addition to filters, different views can also include completely different ways to arrange your data. For instance, you might want to use a Kanban view to sort your tasks by status or triage them by priority. Or you could use a calendar view to keep track of your planned blogs and social media posts. Finally, you can create pages within your databases. Each record in a database can be opened as a page. Then you can add all of the same text and content blocks that you have access to in any other page. This is a great way to add notes to any database record or to organize a long list of similar documents. For instance, if you're creating a new meeting notes doc every day, it may make more sense to structure them as part of a database rather than creating a new page in Notion for every entry. However, there are a couple areas where you should be cautious with Notion databases. If you try to share a page with a client or someone who's not part of your workspace, any relational fields that you've added will show up as blank. That's because your client, who will likely be added as a view-only user, won't have access to the other database referenced by the relation. Additionally, if you nest pages inside of database records, there's really no good way of knowing how deep those nested pages go within that database. You can't filter for nested pages or use any other method to know how many levels deep it goes, except for clicking on each subpage manually. Be careful about nesting too many pages within pages within pages. It will just make things difficult for other people in your workspace. These really aren't deal breakers with Notion, just a couple of words of caution for prospective power users. Ultimately, with all the options at your fingertips for customized pages and databases, Notion gives you the ability to create nearly any workspace you can imagine. With Notion, you can make your project management system, a content calendar, a journal, or whatever else you'd like in just a few clicks. But if you're not sure where to start, you can always try templates. Templates let you copy a pre-made Notion layout with a single click. You can check out our video for Notion templates. We made some great recommendations, or you can just browse the Notion template gallery to get started. So where does Notion actually fit in your software stack? For most teams, it doesn't replace a tool directly. Rather, it's in a category of its own at first. Notion's a versatile app, so you can configure it to perform a lot of different use cases across the company. But it primarily excels at building simple ways to manage your projects and tasks, and at creating text documents that your company needs to reference on a regular basis. As such, Notion can fully replace apps like ClickUp or Monday.com, but you'd never replace apps like Jira or Slack with Notion. A good question to ask yourself is, where is the standard operating procedure for X process? If you can't find it, maybe try putting that SOP documentation in Notion and start building a company wiki. It also replaces many common use cases for apps like Google Docs and Microsoft Word, but there are still areas where those programs will be more appropriate for your content. Drafting copy, particularly any long-form content, is often going to be easier in Google Docs. Additionally, formal documents that require fine-tuned formatting, like contracts, proposals, or essays, would be better suited to stay in GDocs or Word. Basically, if you need pagination and footnotes, you'll need to use a different app. Sharing material with people outside of your organization is also simpler in apps like Google Docs. You just share the necessary doc or folder, and you don't need to worry about issues with reference tables or nested pages preventing your collaborator from seeing your content. However, if you need to quickly make a visually engaging doc, or a resource that your organization needs to access a lot, Notion will be the better choice. Its search functionality specifically is much better than Google Docs, as it lets you search the content of every block instead of just reading the titles. If you're looking for an alternative to Notion, you may want to look at Coda, Airtable, or Roam Research. Coda and Airtable are a bit more data and spreadsheet focused, where Roam is a bit more document focused. All of these tools are a huge step up from Google Docs and Microsoft Word and can help you stay organized. Let us know in the comment section below if you'd like us to cover any of these tools, or maybe one that we didn't even mention in this video. Notion is a great tool for organizing docs and data for your company or for yourself. Once you get familiar with creating pages and databases, there's really no limit to what you can build. And if you want to get started faster, just copy a template for inspiration from the link in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, prove you're human and smash that like button and subscribe for more no-code, productivity, and automation tips every single week. If you'd like to learn more about no-code and low-code automation, follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can find all of our content on our website at xray.tech. You can check all those links in the description down below, and as always, don't forget, keep the flow.